What's going on, everybody? This is Dan from Dan Moda Music, and today we're going to be studying pentatonic scales. This video is for beginners, and we're going to be starting with A minor pentatonic because that's the most common one used. And the way this works, the first thing you want to understand is there's 5 positions. Penta means 5. There's 5 positions to start from on a pentatonic scale, majors or minors. For today, as I said, we're going to do minor pentatonic. We're going to be doing position 1. We're going to start with our first finger and learn the pattern. The pattern is the most important thing to get down first, more than anything, knowing the names or any letters or any of that. Because once you learn this pattern, it is a movable shape anywhere on the fretboard. And we'll get to that in a minute. So, A minor starts on the A note on the 6th string. You could take a screenshot of this diagram I'm going to put right there. But we're going to go from E, F, G, A. So to start the minor pentatonic, you have to play a specific pattern to play in that scale. And that pattern starts off, well, let's learn the fingering. Anytime I play fret 5 on any string, I'm using my first finger. Fret 6 is middle, fret 7 is ring, fret 8 is my pinky. So a lot of people also try to watch very closely the fingering of what people are doing instead of the shape. Once you learn the shape, you don't want to pay attention too much to what the fingers are doing, but look at my shape, and you'll learn more about that in a second. So the starting of this pentatonic scale shape starts with our first finger, fret 5, string 6. Let me turn up that volume. From here, I'm going to go to my 4. Notice, because I already taught you 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to look at my fret. Just know my 4th finger is now going to be fret 8. So 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 5th fret, 1. 4th finger, 4. 8th fret, so 1, 4. The next part of the pattern is a 1, 3. We're going to go to the next string, which is string 5, 1, 3. Next one, 1, 3 again. Next string up, 1, 3 again. So by that, you don't really have to learn the strings. You want to learn how this shape works. Let's keep going. Next shape, 1, 4. Last string, 1, 4. So, let me do that quickly for you one more time. 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. Now, that's a lot of information to take in and just like, wait, you may be going too fast. But don't look at it that way. The way you want to understand this is there's a pattern to the shape. Guitar is full of this matrix of patterns. As long as you can start to learn to unravel them, it becomes easier. So let me explain how this really works. So let's take away our 6th string for now. Okay? I want you to understand there's always going to be 2 sets of 1, 4 next to each other, and always 3 sets of 1, 3 next to each other. They are jumbled in a way, though, where they're not always lined up perfectly in order, because sometimes they may get cut off because it unravels differently throughout the fretboard every time. So sometimes you might have a 1, 3 on top and the other 2 1, 3s on the bottom over here, and maybe a 1, 4 up here and 2 1, 4s over here. Now wait a minute, didn't we just learn a pattern that had 3 sets of 1, 4 and 3 sets of 1, 3? Well, let's talk about that first. The reason why we have 3 1, 4s is because we have 2 strings that have the same name. We have an E on the low end and we have an E on the high end. And because of that, they're going to have whatever I have here on the low end or the high end, it's always going to be the same. So if this starts off, let's say a different position like position 3, starts on a 1, 3. Well, then that means on my high end E string, because this is low E, high E, it's going to be a 1, 3 as well. So you may end up with more than 3 sets of 1, 3. You may end up with 4. So coming back, we have 3 sets of 1, 3 in a row, 2 sets of 1, 4, and the exception is what is the E string starting on. That's always going to be duplicated. So once again, let's cut out that E string on the bottom end. We are going to start this pattern on position 1 with 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, because 3 sets of 1, 3 in a row always. Now 1, 4, 1, 4. That is the real pattern right there. And then it gets duplicated if you're in standard E tuning with whatever the E is on bottom or top, it's always the same. So now look at the pattern, and this should make it easier for you. 1, 4 on the top, or the bottom, I should say, low E, 1, 4. 3 sets of 1, 3 always in a row. After you hit 3 sets of 1, 3, you're always going to have a 1, 4, 1, 4. If I were to have more strings, it would go back to 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. And again, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. And that's with any of these patterns on this fretboard in pentatonic scales. And that's probably for any scale if you're playing in standard, because whatever the E is, has to be the other E. So don't overcomplicate it. That's position 1. Now, once you have that memorized, the next concept, you're going to want to take a screenshot of this if you need to memorize the E string, is to understand how to move this scale to play it anywhere as a pattern. Now, once again, this is a pattern. It's a scale, but the scale has a pattern that is movable, because on guitar, the way it's designed is you just have to move that pattern up or down, and you're playing still a minor pentatonic scale, but now we're playing it in a different key. A key means that we're playing it in a different home note that we're always going to come back to. In this one, it's always A. We have 3 of them. I'll teach you that in a minute. But if I were to take this A note and move it down 2 frets, and I play the same pattern, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4, and backwards. Now I'm playing in, well, what's the name of this note? Look at this pattern right here. You can screenshot that, E, F, G. I'm now in G minor, and I'm playing that same pattern, so I'm playing a G minor pentatonic. Okay. If I wanted to move that again, let's say to D minor, well, I go to my D note, so E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Oh, this is C, not this one. C, D, so now I'm on fret 10. Well, now I take that same pattern. Now I'm in D minor. Those are the 2 things that are attached to the hip right here. Is 1, it's going to be the pattern. Then if you move this pattern around, the shape changes. The shape does not change. The letters do. So what else can we move with this shape is the other part that's attached, as I said a little early, is the number system. Well, if I'm in a minor key, let's go back to our A note, E, F, G, A. I am now in A minor, and this is my starting note, so this is my root note. This is number 1. Now I'm going to change the system. Instead of looking at this as fingers, next diagram is going to show the number system. I have a 1 here, a flat 3 on my pinky, which is my 4, a 4 here on the 1 for the next string. Got a little confused in my head there. And then a 5 on my 3. Next string up is going to be my flat 7 and my 1. Notice this is a 1 and a 1. These are octaves, meaning it's the same letter, just in a higher or lower state. So higher, lower. Okay, so let's keep going. So we got 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7. Don't worry about flats or anything for now. We're in a minor key, that's all. 1 again. Now let's go up again. 1. It's going to be the same pattern now because I'm starting over, going higher. 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7 on the pinky, and 1 again. Well, 1 again because, remember, these are E's. So it's going to be a 1 again. Now if I go up to the next note, well, there's a flat 3 because that was a flat 3 on the top end as well, or the bottom end, I should say. I keep getting confused with that. So we have 2 octaves of minor pentatonic in position 1 right here. Okay? So you really, when you're starting to improvise, you don't have to practice all these notes, and we'll get to that a little bit today. But what's most important is understanding for now that the number system will transfer with the pattern. So if I go back to G minor, it's still a 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 1, so on and so forth. What does not transfer is the letter names. So if this is an A, a C, a D, an E, a G, when I move this down to starting on a G minor pentatonic, we're no longer in A minor pentatonic, we're in G minor pentatonic, and these have its own set of letters. Like this is a G, and depending where we're at, well, if I'm going to be pinky, well, let's see what this is. G, G sharp, A sharp, or B flat, depending how you want to look at it, and we'll worry about that another day. But this is a whole different letter system. So the things that transfer, the pattern. 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. Up and down, goes anywhere. The next thing is the number system. 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 1. 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 1. Move over to D minor. 1, flat 3, 4, 5, 7, 1. That is what always will transfer. Now, these octaves, let's go back over here to position 1, A minor. I talked about octaves. Well, 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 1. On our middle note of the 1-3 pattern, we got 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3. This note is an A as well. We got a low A on the bottom end. We got an A in the middle because this is a 1. And we got a A on the top end because this is a 1. Those are your target notes. If you're playing an A minor pentatonic, you always want to end your wrist on that A minor. For now, there's always exceptions, guys. But if we're using a backing track, which I'll talk about in another video, you're going to be starting to target these 3 notes of A, and A to help you play and improvise. And once again, on a different video, we'll start nice and slow and get you going. For now, once again, things to understand. A minor is a movable shape just like any other one. As long as you have your first finger on the 6th string and you play this pattern, you are good. Next thing to understand is the number system is movable with it. But when you move to a different pattern or a different starting point, what is not transferable is the letters. Okay, so A, C, E, D are not going to work the same in G minor. It's a different letter system. Now, another thing that comes up with a lot of people, well, I've seen people play this with the major as well. The way this works is it's the same pattern, but instead of starting with your first finger, we start with our pinky. Now, we're going to keep this from A minor to A major, but before I do, understand the reason why this works for A and C is they're interchangeable because the minor always has a major that's attached at the hip because of the circle of fifths. Okay, and once again, we'll dive into that in another video, why majors and minors can work together. But understand it's because they share the same notes. They just have different starting points. One will give it a major sound, happy. One will give it a sad sound, minor. Okay, or sad. So now, let's talk about how to make this major for A minor and A major. It's the same pattern, different starting points. So minor starts with our first finger. What you're going to want to do is you're going to shift it from your pinky and substitute it with your first fingers, but we're going to do it this way. We're going to just shift the whole pattern that you have here down 3 frets. And let's shift it from, let's say, our first finger. It might be easier that way. So keeping this 1, 2, 3, 4 finger pattern without losing the shape. So we're going to just move everything down 3 frets, starting with my first finger. 1 fret, 2 fret, 3 fret. So now if I count up from here, I should have a 1, fret 2, fret 3, fret 4, fret 5. I'm still on the A note, but I'm starting on my pinky. Now, because I'm starting on my pinky, this is now going to have a major sound. Don't worry about why. We'll worry about that in another video. But for now, understand, I'm going to play the same pattern, but I'm going to start on my 4 finger, string 6. 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. 1, 4, 1, 4. I can always come back to this note as well, but I will not stop on this note because this will give it a minor sound. I have to stop on the pinky. Watch this. Listen how this will sound. Now it has a happier sound, a brighter tone, because we are using the same pattern, but because we're starting on the pinky with the same letter of A, it will sound with a major sound. You want a minor sound? Start with the first finger on A. You want a major sound? Start with the pinky instead. Okay. Now, that's pretty much everything I want to cover in this video for now. We're going to stick with minor pentatonics for the next one. We're going to learn all our positions and all that. So go ahead and subscribe if you're into that kind of stuff. And if you need more help with this stuff, if you need help with piano lessons or guitar lessons, or you need music made or composition help making music or anything like that, you can reach me at my website. I'll leave that in the description below. And if you need any help, let me know. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.